Hey, what's going on, guys? Taylor Washington here with Brian Schwake. We're here at CreatiVets, where we're going to be going inside to talk to Richard, the founder, the creator, and someone who has gone through war, helps veterans with music, therapy, and so much more. You ready?
I'm ready. Let's go check it out.
Oh, sorry. No, you're good. It's Richard.
Taylor, very nice to meet you.
What's going on, Brian? How are you doing?
Good to meet you guys.
Very nice to meet you.
Welcome to CreatiVets.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us.
So we just bought this abandoned church. It's been abandoned since 2017. And I've always had this dream. I wanted like a 24-hour art music center for veterans so they could heal anytime. Because when PTSD hits, it's like you don't know where you're going to be, but there's nowhere to go. It's either you go to bars or you go to the hospital. Like there's no in between. And so they need a place to go and be creative. So this would have writers' rooms, podcast studio, ceramic studio, wood shop, just a place where they can go be creative for a little bit through like ceramics or cut something, make something to kind of reset their brain so they can be healthy again. For now, we have this space, which kind of is a hybrid. We can't do 24 hours, but we host sewing classes, acting classes. Everything's free for veterans to come into the community and just utilize the space as much as possible.
How long ago did you guys start fundraising and have the idea, hey, we need to have a 24-hour center for people going through PTSD?
Well, what's crazy is my very first board meeting ever in 2013, I told the board I wanted two things to happen when we started these programs. Was one, a space 24 hours where anybody can heal through arts and music, and two was we create music that goes out to the world and collects royalties so that we could fund our programs. And we've already done that portion of it. We released music through Big Machine Records so that we're actually writing with veterans backstage at the Grand Ole Opry to tell their stories for the first time with artists and writers, which we've had Justin Moore and Granger Smith and Randy Rogers. And then on the release side, we've had Howie from Backstreet Boys and Vince Gill lend their vocals to us. What? So giving these veterans their voice so they can go and connect with other people. And so now those travel, we have 25 million streams of our music, and that comes back to royalties. So it goes all the way back to 2013 when I first had this idea of like how we help combat veterans heal through arts and music.
When did you realize that this idea that you had could be something like it's turned into and it's like going to turn into is going to be obviously so impactful for so many people?
Well, I never knew how huge this was going to be because it has already exceeded my expectations, but it was probably in 2010-ish is when I first started studying art. And even then, it just started healing me, but it wasn't until 2012 I was back to almost normal Richard. I was almost suicidal to like learning art and music, writing my own music to tell the story about my buddy who was killed. And then all of a sudden I graduated and I was ready to tackle the world. I was like, I got a degree, I did all this stuff in the Marine Corps. And then I started thinking, well, if it helped me, it could probably help a lot of other people. So it had to be probably like 2012 is when I made that change to be, okay, this needs to be a nonprofit. Because most 6'5" combat Marines are not gonna be like, I wanna do art. So how do I build programs that make them want to? And that's what we've done. And so we've supported 1,200 veterans last year alone in 19 cities and 14 states in Puerto Rico.
Oh my.
Yeah, and hundreds of veterans coming through this space to learn how to art. We have this one song called They Call Me Doc, which Vince Gill, Aaron Lewis, and Dan Tavinsky ended up singing for us. It had its place on the radio for just a smidget of a time, and it was up on YouTube, like 2 million streams on YouTube. There was a random comment on YouTube that from a guy who said, I wish I could tell my story. And I actually commented back. This is back when it was before I had a staff in a big place like this. And I commented back saying, hey, we help veterans tell their stories. If you want to apply for a program. And then like a month later at 1 a.m. an application came in, but with no D214 attached, which is how we know if they're in the military. And so I text the number saying, hey man, I got your application, but no D214. He's like, man, I'm sorry. He's like, I was drunk. I heard They Call Me Doc and saw your comment. I've never left my house for more than like 10 minutes at a time since I've been home from war, and it's been 9 years. And I live in Pennsylvania. I probably can't come to your program. I just was like, how cool to be to have a dust-off medic. If I had a dust-off song. I said, well, dude, I was blown up 4 times. I had those same anxieties. I know exactly how you feel. I'm gonna pay for your flight and room and everything. I'm gonna pick you up. Like it's gonna be me, someone you could trust. And then I'm gonna go in the room with you to make sure you could tell a story. He got on the plane and came out to our program, wrote his song, but he needed to tell a story. So he went home, and I remember him messaging me saying, hey, this isn't a big deal to you, but it's huge for me, but I put my whole story on Reddit. To be able to give that to someone who never thought they could leave their house, because we're truly unlocking something in their brain that is allowing them to say it's okay to get help. Because the military is really good at stripping away your vulnerabilities, because they need to. When my buddy was killed beside me, I had to go to work the next day like nothing happened. But when I got out, they weren't like, here's your vulnerability back. And that's what art and music does. It empowers us to take control of the stories we want to tell, and we could hide them in a piece of art.
What was it like for you as you continue to do art now? Like, what's the art that you initially did, and what's the art that you do now?
Yeah, so when I had no idea what ceramics was when I first got to the school there in Chicago, and my buddy did it, and so I was like, I want to do this, and it was the first time I didn't think about war. For 6 hours I was playing with clay and like building it up, letting it fall down, and I realized how therapeutic in nature it just felt in my body to not think and stress about war. And so I just dove all in. And a lot of these pieces reflect that, but I did one piece around these helmets. I would do a lot of art around stuff that people weren't realizing. So when I was going to SCIC, there was this page called like Faces of the Fallen, I think the Washington Post does, where you could see in real time the people who have died in Iraq, Afghanistan, and the wars. And so I took every person who passed away during my semester, and when I was doing my final project, I made a helmet for each one of them, and it was like, these are the guys who, for one, could have been here studying, but they went and fought. But you could be, and I made people walk up on these. So I was like, you're being physically supported by the people who fell, whether you like it or not. So it was a way for me to talk about it, but without being too in your face. It was like they observed, but just one of those things where you're able to say so much with doing so little. It's like I could make a helmet for each one of them. And so since then, I've morphed this art piece into a bunch of different things when I need to, but it's the art that legitimately saved me. It taught me, again, how to tell my story and how to talk about it with others. And now I get to use this art to help other vendors understand art.
So with the building that's coming, how can fans get involved? How can people in Nashville help CreatiVets? Is it donations? Is it volunteering?
Yeah, I mean, we would love for the community, especially the community leaders of business who want to come in and support us through sponsorship of the building is huge. And even in-kind donations, furniture, fixtures, flooring, we're going to need it all because we're starting from scratch. We're building this thing out. It's going to really help us. But then volunteers. Like, there's so many professional songwriters probably in the audience. There's some famous artists in the audience. There's people that may have a skill set that they want to give back, and it all matters. I don't care if you're teaching like a sewing class to a ceramic class. If you want to get involved, we'd love for you to stop by this location and then talk about how you might want to help benefit veterans. And then streaming our music helps us out so much because that brings royalties to us. But at the end of the day, the dollar wins. So if they want to donate 100%, send the money our way. We'll take it. We have good use for it.
Yes. Dude, that was amazing.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's really special, yeah.
So Brian, talk us through what we just walked through, experience, what are your expectations now?
Yeah, it was pretty special. I don't know what my expectations were going in, but after, I'd definitely say that, seeing something so powerful and so, big nationwide that makes such a big impact and having it, right here on our doorstep is something that everyone should be really excited about and, do their best to get involved in one way or another. Like Richard was saying, there's a lot that we can do to help out. So I think, people seeing this should try to, whether they can relate to it or not, there's something that we can do to help. And I think it's about doing that.
That's brilliantly said. I think Nashville, you heard what Richard said, corporations, people, find a way to get involved, sponsor, help out. I mean, we're seeing and hearing all these beautiful stories of what art and therapy does for people who need it, who are going through PTSD. And if you know someone who is sitting on the couch afraid to get help, reach out, because this is a place where they can finally find the healing and begin the healing process to get to a place where they're experiencing freedom. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Brian, thank you so much for coming. You're amazing.
This is amazing.